Last night I was sitting here having a conversation with a dude at work, right? And the issue of CRT came up, right? Where he started talking about this critical race theory bullshit, man. Fucking like da 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 da. And I was like, you have to understand that like 98% about what you hear, right, is not actually what you're hearing, right? They're trying, CRT isn't even a real thing. Okay, what it is it is colleges trying to explain why something's happening. And they're absolutely wrong about that. And the reason why they're absolutely wrong about that is because of the media. Because the media has an inability to tell you the truth. And we're going to go over this, Bill Burr thing. And I'm going to show you exactly why they have an inability to show you what is going on. Let's check this out.
I got to tell you, my mother-in-law comes over to help watch the kids, and
this is utterly important right here, right? He says his mother-in-law. Now, Nia is 42 years old. I apologize, Mom, for sharing the air and your age in the air. Now, you probably never see this, so it don't really fucking matter. But, she's 42 years old, which means her mom is at least 60. She had her at 18, right? Probably older than that. And this is CNN's target audience. And in being their target audience, there's certain things that they want to hear, and there's certain things that they're accustomed to hearing because this is what the news has told them.
She always puts on CNN. And do you know what those fucking morons are doing? They're fucking talking about Trump. I swear to God, I cannot believe people watch that channel. They're so dumb. It's like, do you think these people give a fuck? They want Darth Vader to come back. They want him to come back because they got nothing to talk about because it's show business. And Joe Biden is a fucking bore. They can't bitch about him because he's wearing a blue tie. So now what do? They're going out there. They're doing what they did the first time to get this guy elected by giving him all this free coverage while they act like they...
All right. So when I was standing here having this conversation, one of the things that I brought up was this. Every year during Halloween, right, there's children who go out with masks on, and costumes, and they go door to door. And it's a beautiful way of bringing a community together, because it's like, this is what this community is about. As I stood here and explained to y'all, last week, the suburbs are a nursery for white children, right? Which is fine, And the inner cities and the southern rural areas are, like nurseries for black kids, which are fine, right? And the community comes together and shows like, hey, look, this is what we're all working for, is these children and our families. And this is what this community is. In the news, wanting to keep your eyeballs attached to that screen, they come out every year with story after story about how you need to go get your kids' candy checked by the fucking local police and put through an x-ray machine because they're concerned that your neighbors are putting razor blades and poison in your candy. Is the truth. That's never happened ever. That's never been a thing. But people fucking believe this. I told an older white lady this one time. I said, Joe, look, you realize that has never happened. She goes, but it could. They know what gets your eyeballs on screen. They know this for sure, 100%. They are completely under the understanding of what keeps your eyes on screen. And in doing so, they will do whatever it takes and lie to you and push bullshit and nonsense to continue to try to keep your fucking eyes there so they can sell advertising. That's what that's about. That's what the entire news structure is built out of. It's important to understand this. It really is.
Allegedly don't like him. I don't buy it. I don't buy it. They're a corporate news channel, and they're fucking treasonous, un-American pieces of shit, just like Fox News, MSNBC, just like all of them. Just like fucking all of them. I was at the gym the other day, right? You know, oh fucking Billy Big Boobs, right? I'm on the elliptical, and they had CNN on with the sound down, and I wanted to ask him, can you turn the fucking channel? No, they didn't have the sound down. They made it seem like all of California was on fire, which I know it is, but like there's nothing I can do about it. All right? And then they go, okay, and now let's talk COVID, and the numbers are up. It's just like, what is their fucking deal on those channels? Don't they have any idea what they're doing to you? Here I am at the fucking gym trying to work off a bunch of goddamn ice cream sundaes, and all I get is fucking fires and pandemic shit. You can't fucking, how about a positive story? I swear to God, if I ran a 24-hour news network, our brand would be, we give you 2 bad, but we still give you 1 good.
All right. So, look. As far as Bill Burr is concerned, he's a comedian, all right? And Bill Burr, he's read some things, and he is intellectually higher than most individuals. You don't get to the level of being the comedian that he is without being highly intelligent, right? Add to that, what I'm saying? I think he's 50-something years old, right? So he's a Gen Xer. And his mentalities have been shaped by Hollywood and the individuals around him. So, I'm not going to sit here and knock him for, being anti-Trump and all that bullshit, right? But let's put this directly, where it goes. Trump is probably one of the better presidents we've ever had in the history of this country, in the end of the day. And I'm a fan of Trump. I really am. You know what I'm saying? I like a lot of his policies. I like a lot of his mentalities, and I like the idea of, I like the fact that he aggravates the shit out of the left. I love that legitimately. But the reasons why we can't have real conversations about anything in this country is because of the news media basically destroying everything and looking for ratings. That's why, right? CNN, MSNBC, Fox, whoever it is, we can't have real conversations about stuff. Like people go, oh, there's a giant homeless problem. Well, nobody wants to solve the homeless problem. Well, everybody wants to solve the homeless problem. Nobody wants to address it. Why is this? Why can't we address the homeless problem in America? Because 90% of all homeless people are dudes. That's why. Why can't we address, black crime and poverty in America? Why? Because the problem's the dudes, right? The problem's in black communities, the reason why, CRT's oh man, critical race theory, all this stuff. Now I'll break it down really simple. Here's what happened. Black people were slaves. Black people became free. Over the next 30 or 40, 50 years, they all moved up north to enjoy, the industrialization, started doing better. We deindustrialized. As we deindustrialized, the government went door to door, and, as men were losing their jobs, they sat there and they threw the dudes out and gave the women, welfare and, food stamps in Section 8, right? Put the dudes on paper. Once the dudes were on paper, they ended up becoming hunted like animals inside of the cities. They all had to turn to crime, and the process continued to repeat itself. That's the reality of what happened in the black community. That's why black people can't get ahead. It literally has nothing to do with racism. It just doesn't. It started with that. It ain't there anymore. The truth of the matter is that it's gynocentrism. It is what it is. You can't really address it without saying, hey, look, this country, doesn't want to deal with the problems of men. It's that simple, right? Why don't we deal with homelessness? Because it's all dudes. If these were females living in the street, it would be dealt with tomorrow. That's the truth. And because of the fact that like our media is watched, the majority of it is really tailored to older white women and older women in general, you're never going to address the problem of men in this country and problems that have anything to do with men. And so things will continue. And then they'll report on it and they'll try to explain it in colleges with CRT and whatever nonsense, it doesn't really matter. But that's the truth. They don't want to address the problems of dudes. And until we really have that conversation, until we as a national collective, somebody on the news goes, this is about dudes. The reason we don't want to address this is because it's about people who have, testicles and a penis. Until someone says this, it will never be addressed. In the end of the day, that's the truth. Is what it is. Hashtag repeal the 19th, motherfuckers. Time peace. You know what it is. Peace.